and we should start our lecture now. So, first of all, I would like to ask you all that I hope you have not forgotten that what have been taught to you in the first lecture. I hope you have not everything, so at least a few think of it in your mind. What have been taught in the lecture one, since it's a very long gap between the lecture one and the lecture two.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then moving ahead with today's lecture. So today we are going to cover this following topics. That is the introduction to simulation environment, then the simulation of a mixture, then simulation of component separator, then sensitivity analysis and design aspect. So these are the four topics which we are going to cover today in today's lecture. Okay. Moving ahead with the simulation environment, as it has already been taught to you about the property analysis environment. So you can see over here. Just a second. Yeah, it has already been shown to you that the Aspen has these following four environment to work upon. Okay, so in the lecture one, I gave you the introduction about the property analysis and the property we work in this particular segment, which is the property environment. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so for today's lecture, we are focusing on this particular environment, that is simulation environment. Okay, so we will be going to know about the what are the various models that are available in Aspen Plus and what we can do with this and how we can do with this specifically, and talking about the special features of Aspen using the sensitivity analysis and design aspect. So we will go through all about those things. So talking about the segments which are present in that in your simulation environment GUI, that is graphics user interface. So you can see this as the quick access ribbon is over there, where you can switch to one another options which are available over here to just get your things done. This is your navigation pane in which we have to follow up the hierarchical order, as it has already been said in the property analysis. During that thing also, you have to follow the hierarchy and you have to satisfy all these red dots has to be blue before performing the simulation. And this is your model palette from where you can select your model and the particular model on which you are going to work on. As you all can see, we have several options over here, that is mixer splitters, then separators, then exchangers, then columns, reactors, pressure changes. So all of these options are present over here. You just have to need to switch your option to get your desired model. The selection of desired model is very important to work upon it. Okay, so while selecting the model, just you can I will be showing you this thing via Aspen Plus also, but for now you just have to keep in this mind that this model palette will help us in recognizing our very specific model that we are going to work on. Okay, so moving ahead. uh, yeah, so the first topic for today's lecture is simulation of a mixture. So in today's lecture, we will be basically focusing on single unit operations. Okay. So for the sake of simplicity and to keep the things in very simple way, I will be dealing with only two single unit models, and one of that is mixture, and one of that is component separator. So let's talk about mixture and how we can simulate a mixture in Aspen Plus. So in the PPT, I have added all the slides stepwise. I have added everything in this slide, and I have added the PPT in the group as well. So you can visit this particular PPT and you can have a look at it. But for now, what I will do is I will be explaining you these things by performing these certain things in Aspen Plus, so that it will be very good for you to understand. Okay, so I will not go through the PPT. What I will do is I will go through Aspen Plus and I will help you out with the different models that we are going to do today. Okay, so for simulating the mixture, what we have to do is, first of all, we have to click on new. Okay, we have to click on new, then we have to go to blank simulation, then we have to go to create. And talking about mixture, so can anyone tell me what is the application of mixture in chemical engineering processes? Where do we found this particular equipment in our process design?
Where we have to mix two components.
Okay. More specifically, can you elaborate it? Anyone can make some light on this thing, that
सर
where we
सर
specifically use this?
यस सर, एक्सट्रैक्शन में मिक्सर और सेपरेटर दोनों यूज करते हैं और यह इक्विलिब्रियम अचीव करने में हेल्प करता है सर।
सर लिक्विड एक्सट्रैक्शन।
यस सर।
Okay. So basically, we are not going to deal with extraction for now. We are not going to deal with any conventional separation processes for now. For now, we are just focusing on mixer. Okay. So what is the sole, what is the main purpose of using this equipment is mixing. Okay. The main thing that it does is it mixes the streams, the multiple streams which is fed into it as input. It mixes those streams and give you one output. So the classic example of using the mixer is you may have gone through the recycle reactors. So where the pure feed is getting mixed with your recycle stream. Okay. So and it is very much in use in process simulation as well, in real applications as well, where what we do is we mix our pure feed with the recycle stream. So there are two streams. One is your pure feed and one is your recycle stream, which is entering our mixer, and those two uh, inputs are they are providing one of our output, which is a you can say mixed feed or whatever you can call it. Okay. So talking about the real application, this particular equipment does have real applications as well. So I will just have a quick look on the components that I have taken for the. Okay. For example, for the sake of simplicity, let's take two component only. One is your benzene, and another one is your toluene. Okay. And now we are interested in mixing these two components, and just for the sake of simplicity, whether this is feasible or not, I'm not talking about that. I'm just interested in simulating of a mixer, and I'm just interested in taking the idea that how we can simulate a mixer. Okay. So what I will do is I am following the hierarchy. Initially, I started Aspen Plus. The Aspen Plus took me to the property analysis segment, where the first and the foremost important thing is to add your components, that with what components I'm going to deal this thing. So initially I will be adding my components. So I will be working on this property environment, and here I have added my components, as you can see, and you can see this particular segment has already become blue, so we can proceed further. So after adding my components, I will just click on this next button, and this will ask you to select a base model, base method. Okay. So I think I have not given you the idea regarding of the selection of base method. So okay, in the later lectures, when we will be covering this simulation of a reactor or simulation of a distillation column, I will be giving some insight on this, that how you can select the base method and how the selection of method plays role while simulating with particular components. Okay, and for now we are going to select this Chau-Seidel, which is a equation based method. And just for now, just take into consideration that we are going for the selection of Chau-Seidel method, which is a numerical based method, and this particular method help us in the background calculation if whatever we are going to do with. Okay, so we have selected our base method, and now we will press next, and the Aspen will ask you that these following options are available to us, that we can run the property analysis, we can modify required property specifications, we can enter property parameters, we can enter experimental data, and we can go to simulation environment. So for now, we are not interested in property analysis. What we are going to do, we will select the go to simulation environment, and we will press OK. So what Aspen will do, Aspen will take us to the simulation environment where we can perform our simulation. Okay. So you can see that this blue tick is completed. Now we have been provided with some more red dots over here. That means we have to complete this thing, and then only we can proceed with our desired operation, whatever we want to do. So as you all can see, this is your model palette from where we can select our models. So you can see in mixer, we have mixer, splitter, SS split, separators, exchangers, columns, reactors. All sort of reactors are present over here, pressure changes, then manipulators. So many models are present over here. So focusing on the first and the very simple model for today's lecture, we are going to select mixture. Keep this in mind, and pay a very good attention what I'm saying, because this thing is quite tricky and we may found yourself in trouble while doing this thing. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to click on this particular model using the left mouse button. Okay, I just click one left mouse button, and when I will come to this particular flow sheeting area, my cursor will be changed to this particular logo, what you all can see. What I will do, I have just make one single click on the model mixture, and I will just click it once on the flow sheeting area. After clicking it once, don't click for the second time, otherwise what will happen, you will be adding multiple models. Okay, I am just clicking my left button, so you all can see I am adding just multiple models which I don't require. So what we have to do is, you have to click on this particular thing. This is cancel insert mode. Once you enter your model in the flowsheet area, come back to this particular thing, click on this particular cancel insert mode, or then your cursor will be changed, and now no more models will be inserted in your flowsheeting area. Okay, so the extra models which I have inserted by mistake, what I have to do, I have to click on this left button and just press the delete button. And okay, I will click on this, I will click delete. Okay, I will click on this, I will click delete, and I will click okay. So all the models which is not required by me, I will be deleting those things. So what I have done, I have added my model, which is a mixer. So for now, what I have to do is I have to add material streams. Okay. So on clicking material streams, you will automatically see that the red and blue streams would be added to your model. The red streams are the required ones. That means without defining your red streams, your model would not execute. You would not be able to perform the simulation of your model without fulfilling or without defining these red streams. And talking about the blue streams, these are optional streams. So it may possible that you may have one single optional streams with you. In that case, you may have to define this particular stream, but for simulating this particular model, it's not required. It is specifically not required to define this blue stream. That's why it's given over here as an optional stream. If it is present, then we can take it off. But if it is not present, then we can leave it as it is. Okay. So how to draw streams? And again, it's a very tricky process, how to draw streams. So what you have to do, when our cursor is over here, we can see, and when we are reaching this particular red stream section, we can see there is some color change. What you have to do is, if you are having a single stream, mind it, what I am saying, if you are having a single input as single output, which is not possible in case of mixture, because in mixture, if you don't have two streams to mix, then there is no application of mixture. That means at least we will be having two streams with us that we are going to mix, and we will get one output accordingly. Okay, so since we are working with mixer, that means we are going to have at least two streams. Okay, so what we are going to do, just mind it and listen to me very carefully how to do it. Press your left mouse button while you are on this particular red stream. Okay, and keep your button in a pressed way. Just relocate your cursor and leave it, and then pull it, and then again leave it. So this particular stream is added to your mixture. One, and again what I will do, I will click on this, I will move this, and then I will leave my button, and again I will stretch the stream as per my desired way, and again I will click it. So this particular stream 2 is again added to my unit operation or model. And for output stream, what I will do, I will do the same thing. I will just click on this and I will just stretch it accordingly, and I will get my desired output stream. And don't forget to click on this cancel insert mode, or you can click on, just press a right click button so that your cursor will be changed. So you can perform the cancel insertion mode in two ways. One is your this thing, you can come here and you can click on this so that you can cancel the insertion mode. What is insertion mode? Let me explain you again. If you are selected the material stream, and if you will keep on clicking this thing, what will happen? The insertion mode is on. So what will happen? These things will keep on inserting, which is not required by us. So we have to cancel this particular insertion mode before going into next operation. So we can do this thing by two methods. One is by clicking the cancel insertion mode. Once we click on this, look at the cursor style. It's in the plus sign. But once we click on this, it will get back to arrow. That means the insertion mode is cancelled. Okay. And again, let me select the material stream. And again, you can see we are in the insertion mode. So we can just deactivate the insertion mode by clicking the right button of our mouse in the flow sheeting area. So as I click my right button, you can see the cursor is changed to the arrow, and that means my insertion mode is deleted. Now, if I press any left button, if I press my left key, so my insertion mode is not there, and I will be not inserting any models or any streams in my desired flow sheeting area. Okay. So for now, I am not interested with these streams, that is 4 and 5. I will be deleting those things. So I will just press left button on this, and I will hit delete button from my keyboard, and I will press OK. So this is my desired flow sheet for now, whether I'm interested in mixing two streams, one containing the benzene and one containing the toluene, and this is the mixture of these two. So I'm now what you all can do with this Aspen Plus, we all can rename this thing by double clicking on this. By double clicking, that is your left mouse button, just hitting it double twice, you will be able to rename it. I can rename it with the name of mixture. By default, the blocks will be entered by Aspen with a name of B1, B2, B3, etc. and so on. As many models we will insert into the graphics user interface, what will happen? The models will be serially arranged with a number of B1, B2, B3, B4, but for our convenience, we can rename them by just clicking by twice on the name which has been given over there, that is B1, and we can rename it as per our desired thing. Okay, so this is 1, 2, and 3. Again, we may get confused that what is 1, what is 2.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm not able to see your screen.
सब मॉडल
Yes,
नहीं
sir,
दिख
model
रहा।
हैं? मॉडल्स वगैरह दिख रहे हैं, ब्लैक दिख रहा है स्क्रीन।
यस सर, यस सर।
yes sir,
तो
black
ऐसा
है।
क्यों हो रहा है? काफी देर से है और तुम लोग बोलते क्यों नहीं हो भाई?
सर बताना चाहिए था बच्चों को, सर
सर,
ऐसा हो रहा है।
मोबाइल में देख रहा हूँ, शायद दिक्कत हो रही है, इसलिए नहीं बोल पा रहा। तो
तुम लोग बोला करो भाई, ऐसे रिकॉर्डिंग में भी सब ऐसे ही आएगा, दोबारा थोड़ी ना वो सब फिर एक्सप्लेन करेगा। अब आया, अब ठीक है।
Should I perform it again for you all?
यस सर।
थोड़ा सा पीछे से 5 मिनट पीछे से थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दो, ठीक है अंतरिम?
Okay, sir, okay,
अब
sure.
स्टूडेंट साइड से भाई तुम लोग बताया करो। मुझे लगा मेरे ही साइड कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, मैं लॉग आउट हुआ, फिर से मैंने स्क्रीन रिफ्रेश किया, फिर सब किया।
Yeah. Please, if anyone of you find any difficulty, please speak up, because I am unaware of the fact कि आप लोग क्या देख रहे हो, क्या नहीं देख रहे हो। तो मैं यहाँ से अपना सेटिंग तो सब कुछ बराबर रख रहा हूँ, बट आई डोंट नो आप लोग क्या देख पा रहे हो। तो आप लोग को अगर कोई दिक्कत हो विजिबिलिटी में,
सर
तो आप लोग उसकी
वो
वजह से
कई बार लगता है, मतलब लगता
नहीं,
है ना कि हमारी
अगर
साइड
इश्यूज
प्रॉब्लम।
हो, नहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं, अगर इश्यूज हो तो आप उसे बताओ। इश्यूज हमारे तरफ से भी हो सकती है, आपके तरफ से भी हो सकती है, बट पॉइंट ये है कि एक्सप्लेन करने के बाद वो चीजें अगर हो तो फिर वो आपकी भी समझ में नहीं आएगी और फिर कामा का टाइम वेस्ट होगा। तो इस बेटर कि आप पहले ही बता दो। चलो कोई नहीं।
और ऑनलाइन
व्हाट आई विल डू इज,
अंतरिम एक मिनट, ऑनलाइन टीचिंग में दोनों तरफ से सपोर्ट होगा तभी सक्सेस हो पाएगा, ठीक है? अदरवाइज कोई मतलब नहीं है, हमारा भी टाइम वेस्ट और आपका भी टाइम वेस्ट, ठीक है? कोई बात नहीं, अंतरिम क्लियर कर देगा भाई। और लोगों से कंफर्म करो कि और लोगों को क्या दिख रहा है, ठीक है? तो नेक्स्ट टाइम इस तरीके की चीजें ना हो, ठीक? ओके
ओके सर, सॉरी सर।
सभी लोग देख पा रहे हैं?
यस सर,
यस सर।
एवरीवन?
यस सर।
What I will do is I will delete each and every single thing of what is present over in GUI, ठीक है? और मैं हर एक चीज को फिर से ऐड करके एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ, ठीक है? To make this thing very clear, मैं डिलीट कर रहा हूँ सब कुछ। डिलीट करने का तरीका है, आप एक बार सिंगल लेफ्ट क्लिक करें, डिलीट बटन प्रेस करें, ये डायलॉग बॉक्स अपीयर होगा, ओके कर दें, ठीक है? Now for now I'm deleting all these things. I have deleted everything. Now I don't have any other model or streams on my GUI. So what was our aim? We were supposed to simulate a mixture. What we will do, we will go to mixture model, then we will select this particular model from there by pressing a single left click button. And what I will do is I will just come to my GUI, that is flow sheeting area, and I will just press one single left click button. I said that I told you that we have to cancel our insertion mode. We can do it by we can do that in two ways. One, by pressing our right mouse button. So the cursor design has been changed to arrow. That means our insertion mode is cancelled. Or if you are in insertion mode, then you can switch to navigate to this particular icon, and this will assist you in cancelling your insertion mode. Otherwise, what will happen if you don't cancel the n number of times? If you will click, you will be adding your models or streams n number of times, which is unnecessary. It is not required by us. Okay, so keep this thing in mind while you draw flowsheets, because it's very important, because by mistake students do add, not only students, sometimes we also add the equipments or the streams which is not required by us. So we should keep in our mind to just click our right mouse button or just to navigate to this particular option to cancel the insertion mode before moving ahead with our process flow sheet. Okay, so I have added my model over here. You can zoom it, or you all can squeeze it as well, depending on your whatever you want to do with it for the representation purpose. So just by making the left click. Okay, now since I have added my model, what I will do, I am interested in adding my streams. I am interested in adding my streams. Okay, so you all can see we have two different colors with us. That is one red streams and one is blue streams. Red streams are the required ones, which are required for the simulation of this particular model. I'm not talking about this particular model. If you have different model with you, it may possible that the red streams and the blue streams will also appear over there. So what we have to do, red ones are the required ones. That means we have to feed in the data for the streams appearing in the red color. Then only we will be able to perform the simulation of our desired model. So since we are working with the mixing model, so it is obviously known that we will be having more than one streams which we are interested in mixing, and we will be having one output stream which is our mixed feed or mixed stream, you all can say. So how to generate those streams? So what you do, you will press your left mouse button over here. You will move it by clicking, keep the left mouse button clicked. Okay, keep the left mouse button clicked and just move the location from somewhere else where you want to place your stream and just leave it over there, and then stretch it as per your presentation part and just hit a click. So you can see your stream is added. Again, I'm interested in adding one more stream. So I will click on this, I will move it, and again I will leave it, and then I will stretch it, and then I will make one add this stream. And similarly with this, adding the output stream, I have added my output stream. One thing you may have noted that if you may have not gone through this. Okay, leave it. You may have a question, sir, why the number is 6, why the number is 7? Since I am working in the same GUI, I have not reopened it. So initially I have added 5 streams. So that's why the number is started from 6, 7, and 8. So it's not a very big deal for us. So you can see the cursor design, you can see the cursor is in insertion mode. So for now, what I have to do, I have to cancel my insertion mode. So I have just pressed my right click button, and since I can see that design has been changed to cursor, that means the insertion mode is cancelled. Now I can move ahead with my flow sheeting area. Okay, so here it is written B5. I can rename it as mixer by clicking by making double click on that. I can rename my streams as well. So you can see it is mentioned 6. So I will be writing over here benzene, since I have only 2 components with me, and I'm interested in mixing those 2 components and raising one desired output. Okay, so now the second is your toluene. So I have toluene with me, and this is my 8th stream, and I want to I can rename it as benzene plus toluene, whatever you want to rename it as. So for now, I have renamed my streams and I have renamed my block, and you all can see in the navigation pane, you can see that I have completed this particular flow sheet as well. That means our flow sheet is complete, and now we can move ahead. So what we will do, we will press on this next button, and Aspen will take us directly to the input. So you all can see that we have been taken to this benzene and toluene. That means the mixer model is a rate-based model. That means in Aspen, whatever models are available, it's very important. In Aspen, whatever models are available, those each and every single model is rate-based model. What do you mean by rate-based model? Rate-based models means these models are designed as per rating. You know what is as per rating? Supposedly I am designing an equipment. I have said that this particular equipment is designed as per rating. So by rating, I basically mean that it will work 100% ideally. So 100% ideally by in case of mixer, if I discuss rating is, so depending on mixer, what mixer will do? Mixer will mix my two strings which is coming in at as input. Mixer will not ask you to provide a specification regarding the output stream. That's what happening over here. What I said is our output stream is ben plus tol, that is benzene plus toluene, which is the output stream. So you all can see that there is no red dot over here. That means we don't need to provide any data the output stream. We can't specify, we don't need to. If we will, then it will be disregarded by Aspen Plus, since that particular thing is not required. Our model will work according to its rating. So according to its rating, it has been said that the output data or output specification is not required. Whatever is required, it is required on the input side. So we have to specify the data regarding the input side only, and output will be calculated accordingly. So for now, the Aspen has taken us to the benzene stream, which is one of our input stream, in which we have to specify the data regarding the benzene input stream. Okay, so talking about the degree of freedom, I have mentioned everything in the PPT, which I have already added in the group. So you all can visit that thing to get those things into detail. I have written each and every single thing over there, whatever I am explaining to you verbally. So I have mentioned each and every single thing over there. So talking about streams, so it's very much important. It's a question arises that what is the degree of freedom? How many things we have to specify to get our things done? So for streams and for streams, just for now, the degree of freedom is C plus 2. Okay. For streams, the degree of freedom in Aspen is C plus 2, where C is the number of component. Okay. So if I am talking about the benzene stream in which only benzene is present, so if only benzene is present, that means the number of component present in that particular stream is 1, and 2 extra, that is 3. That means we need to specify 3 things stream to be properly. Okay, what are those 3 things? One is your this thing. One thing is about your component, whether the component composition is present or component flow rate is present. Any one of it can work. Okay, where you have the molar flow, whether you have a mass flow, whether you have mass fraction, whether you have mole fraction, you can specify one thing, any one thing of those things. Okay, and talking about the remaining two things you can select among these 3 present options, that is your temperature, vapor fraction, and pressure. Among these 3 available things, that is your temperature, pressure, and vapor fraction, you have to specify 2 things. So one is your whether component flow rate or component composition. Okay, one is these two, among these 2 things, and the other 2 are temperature, pressure, or temperature via vapor fraction, or pressure or vapor fraction. So any set of 2 will work. Okay, so right now I will be providing data regarding temperature and pressure. So temperature, for our convenience, just take 50, and pressure is your 1 bar, and just I'm interested in the say mole fraction, and specifying mole fraction of it as 1, and the molar flow rate for that is say, let's say 100. Okay, so what I have done is I just told Aspen that I have a molar flow rate of 100 kilomole per hour for this particular benzene stream, and the constituent in that is benzene. Okay, that is 1. And these 2 things are temperature and pressure for this particular stream. So I have specified all the things, and this particular thing has turned from red to blue. That means I have completed my input in this particular segment, and I will hit next. So again, it will ask me to fill the data regarding this toluene stream. So you can all can see this particular, we are working in this particular segment where we have been asked to fulfill the data or provide the data regarding this particular toluene stream. So let's say I've just provided this particular thing, and again I'm interested in this thing, and again this is toluene, and again this thing is completed. Okay, so again I will hit next. So the Aspen will tell me that all the required input is complete. You can run the simulation now or enter more input. To enter more input, select cancel and you can do. But for now, our desired input is already, I have input everything. We have input everything. So we will run our simulation now, and we can run our simulation by pressing the OK. So while when you will click on this OK thing, so Aspen will be telling Aspen will be taking you to this particular control panel. Okay, Aspen will taking you to this control panel. Okay, since I have added multiple inputs were added here initially, that's why this particular warning is generated. Otherwise, there would have been no warnings issued, since I was working on the same UI where I have inputted by mistake multiple streams and all. So it's not let's not worry about that thing. I will be discussing this thing later. So control panel will tell us about the simulation is successfully run and the generating results, and we can see over here that results are available. So from where we can see our results, we can see our results from this stream summary. So once you click on this particular stream summary, you will be able to see your whatever results that has been generated. So you all can see these are your this is your mixing model specifications which has been obtained. So we have provided the data for benzene stream and the toluene stream. You can see that the 50 degree Celsius temperature, the pressure is 1 bar, 2 bar, then the composition for toluene is 1 over here in this stream, and for benzene is 1 for this stream. You can clearly see that the mole fraction of benzene is 1 in this benzene stream, and the mole fraction of toluene is 1 in this toluene stream. But once they are getting mixed, we are obtaining a total flow rate of 200, that is 100 plus 100, and the mole fraction will be getting accordingly 0.5 and 0.5. So we can perform this in manually as well, and it's a very easy thing. So this is the way in which you can perform your simulation while using a mixer. Okay, so let me close it for now, and again let me open it. So this is the way in which you can simulate a mixer. Okay, so I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have just I'm just showing you all that I have mentioned each and every single thing in PPT as well. So in case you want to revise it, you can do it from PPT as well, so that it will assist you in understanding the simulation thing once again. You can go through this, and I have added one stepwise procedure how you can steps involved in creating PFD containing a mixture, so that there is no confusion regarding the addition of your models or the addition of your streams. So these are the stepwise procedure which you have to follow to draw your PFD. That is depending on the number of models that you have and the number of streams that you have. It may be a complex PFD or it may be a very simple PFD. But for now, we are working on very simple environment and a very simple problems, so that to have a very good hold on the foundation. And in the later lectures, I will be discussing few complex things. So each and every single thing is mentioned over here. I'm just showing you these things so that you can. I have mentioned that thing that C+2 is the DOF, which I have discussed in my just few minutes earlier, and I'm just showing you the things that with whatever I have just told you, it's already mentioned in the PPT. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we will take one real application, that is your. This is the problem statement that we have with us for now. That is a mixture containing 58% acetone and 58% water is to be separated into two streams. Okay, one enriched in acetone and other in water. The separation process consists of extraction of acetone from water into methyl isobutyl ketone, that is MIBK, which preferentially dissolves acetone, but it is nearly immiscible with water. The overall goal of this problem is to separate the feed stream into two streams that have greater than 95% purity of water and acetone respectively. So it's a very big question. So we will not be focusing on that big question, since we are not be achieving any purity, since we are only dealing with mixer for now. So I have focused on a subset of this particular question. The subset of this particular question is the question which is written in red. Okay, the subset is that our goal at the end of this is to understand some of the features of Aspen Plus while creating a simulation of the mixture of a feed stream of 100 kg per hour of the 50 per 50, that is acetone water mixture, with a solvent stream of 100 kg per hour of MIBK. That means we have two streams with us. One stream is 100 kg per hour but containing two different component. One is your acetone and one is your water, and we have one different stream that is of 100 kg per hour, which is constituting of MIBK, that is methyl isobutyl ketone. Okay, now we are interested in mixing these two streams and producing one output stream, and further that output stream will be taken to a different unit operation for further purification. But for now we are not going to deal that thing. What we are going to deal, we are going to deal with one mixture in which we are interested in mixing two streams, one stream constituting of two components, that is, one is your acetone and one is your water, and the second stream is your methyl isobutyl ketone. Okay, so I have again added the stepwise procedure over here. What I will do is, you can go through it, or I will just show you that how you can do this thing as well. And I will just show you one more. Okay, just let me take you to the Aspen Plus. Again, the blank simulation. I'm just interested in showing you one more feature of Aspen. And for that purpose, I'm performing this particular simulation so that it will help you in much more clear understanding that what Aspen Plus do for us. Acetone. Okay, our three components were acetone, water, and MIBK. Water. And for MIBK, I don't know whether I can write methyl isobutane. So what I will do is I will go to find button. I will select the begins with, since I know the name starts with methyl iso. So I will just type methyl iso and I will click on this find now. I hope you all understand what I'm saying. I am interested in inserting my component, which is methyl isobutyl ketone. Okay, but I don't know whether I will be able to write the component ID or not. So what I have done, I have just click on this find button and this dialog box appear in front of me where I can, but I know the component name start with this methyl iso. So what I selected begins with, and I just type over here methyl iso, and I will click on this find now. Wait for just few seconds, and Aspen will tell what components are with name initiating with methyl iso. So you all can see I have the components which have name starting with methyl iso. So I will just expand this thing and I can see my desired component is present over there, that is methyl isobutyl ketone. So I will just single click on this and I will just hit the add selected component. Okay, so in this way, do you want to replace component acetone with this? No, I'm not interested in replacing any of my component. I will just click on this add button. So this particular component will be added. This is the component ID which Aspen has provided me, but for now I am interested in renaming this thing with the name of MIBK. So I can rename component ID, and how you can rename it? You can rename it by double clicking on this, and again you can write MIBK so that it would be very much clear to you that this particular stream is your methyl isobutyl ketone, which is as per our desired problem statement. So I will be renaming it. So I have my three components with me, that is, one is your acetone, one is your water, and one is your MIBK, that is methyl isobutyl ketone. And since all the hierarchical things have been satisfied and we have blue ticks over there, and I have completely selected my components, what I will do, I will hit next button. And once I hit next button, again Aspen will ask me to select the base model. So again I will go for this Tau-Cedar thing, or you can go for something else. Let me see what model I have selected over there. think I have selected Chaucer only regarding the base model over there. No, I must have selected one. Okay, nothing regarding this particular thing. Okay, nothing, no issues. Okay, let me select this particular Chaucer thing, and I will hit next button. And again, the MATLAB will ask you to what I want to do specifically, whether I am interested in property analysis or I'm interested in going to the simulation environment. So I will be selecting this go to simulation environment, and I will hit OK. So once I hit OK, the Aspen will navigate to this particular simulation environment UI, and whether I need to draw my flow sheet. So for now, we are interested in again working on the mixture only. So I will select this particular model. I will space up the things a bit so that we can cover up the complete lecture in the desired time. So I will be doing this thing again. I will be renaming it as mixer. Then I will be adding my streams. I have two streams with me. Again, I will add them like this. I will click on this. See, I just click on that and I just left my left button. So mistakenly I have added my streams over there only. So just keep this thing in mind. We have to just keep your left mouse button clicking while moving the streams. Okay, if you will leave your button, then that particular stream will be added to that particular location only. So keep this thing in mind. For now, it is okay for us since two streams has already been added. So I will be hitting my right button so that I can cancel the insertion mode. So one I have is acetone plus water. Okay, water, and one I have is your MIBK, and this is your mixture. So I will be calling it trimix. Let's call it trimix, the mixture of three component. So my flow sheet is complete now, and next button. I will be hitting next button, and for desired thing, I will just let me check that. Okay. Just let me check the conditions which I have given. Yeah, 25 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atm pressure. 1 atm pressure. 1 atm pressure, and that is your 100. And this is not kilomole per hour. We have it is as kg per hour. We have this thing as kg per hour. So what we will do? This kilomole per hour. Kilomole. We have mass flow, no? Okay, total flow is over mass, just converted to mass. So we have kg per hour. Okay, and what we have this particular as mass flow, or you can give it as mass fraction on as also. So we have mass flow of 50 and 50. So you all can see this particular thing is done, and I will hit next button. And for this particular segment, what are the process conditions? Okay, the same conditions are over there also. 25 degrees Celsius, it is 1 atm. It is your 1 atm, and we have MIBK as 100. As 100, this is not mole flow, this is your mass flow. So again, we are done with this, and we will hit next button, and the simulation will run. Okay. But by mistake, I have selected the wrong base method, I guess. See, you can see since there was no extra addition of any streams or models, so no warnings and errors are generated, which was generated in the earlier case because by mistake, I have added multiple streams, which I have not used, and multiple models, which I have not incorporated in my flow sheet, which I have deleted later. For that purpose, there was issuing one warning regarding those things. But for now, we have no warnings and no errors in our simulation, and we have results available with us, and we can check our results from result summary. Okay, we can check our results with our result summary. So let us say that I have performed this simulation, but for now I am in a position where I have selected my base method in an incorrect way. So what we all can do? So it's very simple to just correct yourself. Just navigate to your home button. Okay, just navigate to your home tab, which is present in your quick access toolbar, and just say the things reset. Okay, what it will do? Once you click on this reset thing, it will reinitialize calculation. Okay, it will delete each and every single calculation, whatever simulation it has done. Okay, just hit on this OK thing. Okay, okay. Each and every single thing is gone, vanished, because each and every single thing is erased. You have reset everything, and till now the simulation is not performed. But because why? Because I found out the base method which I have selected is incorrect. Okay, so what I will do, I will navigate to property analysis, and I will just correct myself. what I will do is I will again reset myself in this particular environment because the base method selected was wrong. So what I will do is I will select one of the, let us say I'm going for NRTL or Unifact. Let us say I'm going for Unifact, which is a group contribution method. And what I will do, I will do next. I will do next, next year. I will do next. And I will say go to, I will say run property analysis for one more thing. Then it will be telling me about the, I guess, since I'm just interested in showing you the, where is that thing? I'm interested in showing you methods, specification setups, not that, component IDs, your methods, specification. This is your Unifact, and this is your Unifact, and this is parameters, and I'm actually I will go to this. Okay, Unifact is not present. This is a group contribution method. Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Okay. So what I will do, I will go to specification, okay, and again I will go to specification, and I will select NRTL over there, NRTL over there, and I will hit next. Okay. So what I have done is I have just switched my base method to NRTL, and I can see the interaction parameters. It's very important since we don't have any idea regarding the behavior of the component or the regarding the behavior of the component in a binary way or in the pure way or in the trimixture way. So what it's very good to select such method which can detect the activity coefficients of the component, and which can detect the activity and if there is any availability any azeotrophs or not. So it's very convenient, or if we should be focusing on if the component is like this, in which we don't have any idea regarding the ideality or non-ideality. So we should select such models which would be able to predict those non-ideal behaviors which are present in my, which may be present in my model, since we are not aware of that thing. Okay. So for now, what I have done is I have selected this NRTL model. Okay, I have selected this NRTL model. And once I selected this, I have obtained this particular data bank, which is nothing but it is the interaction parameters that the component have with one another, that how the components are getting reacting with one another. I will be explaining this thing later. For the time being, this thing we will not be able to understand, I guess. But just consider this thing as interaction parameter, and once I will be explaining you the different thermodynamic models later, if possible, then I will be telling you that what exactly these things are and how exactly these things affect any model or any calculation procedure. Okay, so for now we are navigating to the simulation environment, and since we have reset our everything, so again we will go to home button and we will hit the next button, and we will click on OK, and we will obtain our results once again. Okay, we will obtain our results once again with no warning and nothing. So we can see that there is stream summary, and we all can see that the results are available. Okay, so what I was telling you that since I am unaware of the nature of this particular thing, so Aspen can help us. Aspen has a option called azeotroph search. Okay, since we have a mixture of 3 components, that is your MIBK, that is your methyl isobutyl ketone, then acetone and water. And we don't have any idea regarding that what sort of, if there is any presence of azeotrophs or not. So Aspen can help us in detecting or those azeotrophs if they are present in if they are present in the system. So we can just click on this azeotroph search. And once we click on this azeotroph search, it will take few minutes or few seconds. So you all can see this is your prior component. You must select at least 2 components, obviously. For azeotrophs, okay, I will be selecting all components, and I will just look at if there is any azeotrophs or not. So you all can see over here that there is one azeotroph which is present between water and MIBK. This is your binary azeotroph. Okay, this is your binary azeotroph which is present at a mole fraction composition for water is 0.69, and this is your almost 0.31, which is at a temperature of 83.041 degrees Celsius. So at this particular temperature, there hits a saddle. Okay, I will be discussing for now. It's beyond the scope of your syllabus that what is saddle, what is unstable, what is stable. So you must not focus on that. So I just want to show you Aspen has the options with them whether you can be able to predict or detect the availability of any azeotrope, whether it is a binary azeotrope or ternary azeotrope, depending on that particular system. The Aspen will tell you that whether there is any azeotropes or not. So in this way, we can look into this also. It is additional feature of Aspen which we can explore for. And so we have successfully simulated our this particular mixture. We have whether we have two streams in which one is your acetone water and one is your MIBK, and we have obtained the trimix, and these are the result summary. And this particular azeotrope search is option available is in your simulation environment quick access toolbar. And for searching this particular thing, you just have to click on this thing, and this particular dialog box will appear in front of you. You have to select all the components, and just you have to click on the azeotropes to just view your azeotropic composition, or if there is no composition, then no details would be available over here. Okay, so this is all about your mixer part. Okay, and so I have added each and every single thing over here, and this is all about your mixer. So in this way you can simulate your mixer. Okay, I have showed you that you can make your azeotropic search. Okay, and these are two home assignments for you. I have added the PPT. You can go through it and you can complete it. I have added the similar question, but it's just for your practice. Okay, so just have a practice over these two questions. So till now we have completed our one model, that is your mixer model. So if anyone have any doubt, so they can ask. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
With कोई doubt
No doubt, no doubt. Okay, once you practice it may possible that you came across some doubt. Okay, first you practice, and then if in case you feel you come across some doubt, then you can ask me anytime. Okay, so what we were doing is we have just finished our mixture model, and these are the two questions which is given to you as home assignment. So you can go through these two questions and you can solve it. Okay, so now the second model, which we are going to cover in today's lecture, is component separator. Okay, so for the basic knowledge, what is it is component separator is a very simplified model. It doesn't actually go into what kind of separation you want to achieve, nor it deals with any design aspects. Means column separator is such a simple model that it will just separate the components, irrespective of the amount of energy required, irrespective of the number of trays required, whether any packing required, whether what sort of driving force you are maintaining, no concepts needed. It's just a separator. What it will do, it will separate the column. Ideally, it is not possible, but yeah, for the sake of simplicity, Aspen has models like this, and you also have gone through models like this in your process stoichiometric part, I guess, since the first mass balance or energy balance we used to apply on this particular model, that is your component separator, whether you used to have only three streams, that is one is your feed stream, one is your top outlet, and one is your bottom outlet. So in that way, this particular component separator works. And in other words, you can say you will be able to achieve whatever desired separation you want, and the component separator will be able to achieve the required separation. So we will be able to pick and place components as per requirement. So basically this thing is very ideal, very close to ideal, which doesn't happen in real life. So it will just give you a brief idea about the model. But talking about the separation processes or the conventional separation processes, those things are pretty much more complex than the thing that we are going to discuss right now. Okay, so don't be concerned about the complexity of any model. We will discuss those things in the later lectures, but for now we are keeping the things in a very simple way. And for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to tell you that how you can simulate a component separator in Aspen Plus. Okay, so I will not do it since it's very easy, not that much difficult. So I will be just showing you the slides that how you can do it. The first thing that you can do is when you will open your Aspen Plus, you will be seeing this thing, and you have to select for your blank simulation. Then you have to go for create. And the second, again, you have to add your component, the second part. So again, I have added my benzene and toluene. Again, I have selected the base model as my Chau-Sieler model. Then I have selected to go to simulation environment. Then I came to my this particular simulation environment, whether I can go to where I can go to my separators, and in separator I can select this particular separator column separator, where you can see that I have I have mentioned this particular, the Aspen has already mentioned this particular thing as column separator separates component based on specified flow or split fractions. That means these are the two things on the basis of which Aspen plus model, this particular model will separate your component. Okay. So what I will do, I will draw my this particular PFD, that is process flow diagram, in which I have selected one my separated column, and I have three streams with me. One is my feed stream, and one is my top outlet, and one is my bottom outlet. Okay. So once I hit next button, the MATLAB, the Aspen will ask me to provide data regarding the input, whatever input I have. So I have provided the data regarding the input, that is, you can see the stream 1. As you can see, stream 1 is my input stream. So for now, I'm inputting the data regarding my input stream. And you can see that there is no data regarding, nothing is required regarding this stream number 2 and stream number 4. So again, each and every single model, whatever model is present in Aspen Plus module or in the model palette, these are rate based model. That means this model will give you results according to its rating, and according to its rating by means there is no specification required for the output stream. So no such data is required. That's why the models are called the rate based models. That means I'm not don't confuse it with the reaction rate and all. I'm not telling those things. I'm just telling this, the design has been done in such a way that they will give you rating based design. Okay. And for that purpose, you all can see that nothing is required regarding the output stream. Since you all can see there is no red dots are for stream number 2 and stream number 4. That means we don't need to feed in any data or any specification for stream number 2 or stream number 4. Whatever the balances equation has been written for it is in inbuilt, it will give you accordingly the data for stream number 2 and stream number 4. We should not be focusing on the output stream. Apart from that, we should be focusing on our input stream, which is our stream number 1, and we need to provide data regarding that particular stream only. So providing the data regarding this particular stream, again we are dealing with this particular thing. So we will be selecting one of this, temperature or pressure. Then I have provided 50 degrees Celsius and 1 bar pressure, and the total flow basis is mole basis. So the total flow rate is 1 kilomole per hour, and among this 1 kilomole per hour, I have my mole fractions as 0.5. That means the stream 1 is at 50 degrees Celsius, 1 bar pressure, flowing at a rate of 1 kilomole per hour, in which the mole fraction for benzene is 0.5 and the mole fraction for toluene is 0.5. Okay. So once I hit next button, the MATLAB will, not the MATLAB, the Aspen will take me to this particular thing, whether I have been asked to feed in data regarding the split fraction. Since I have already shown you that this is a model which works on specified flows or split fractions. So we have to provide the split fraction with respect to the output stream. So it's not that much tricky. It's very conceptual. So what we have to do, just listen to me very carefully. In the outlet stream, we have selected 2. That means whatever specification or whatever split fraction we are providing for that particular model, that is your component separator, we are giving this particular specification with respect to your stream number 2. That is your top stream. Okay, top outlet, you can say. Okay. So what specification I have given? I have given that the benzene split fraction should be 1. That means by providing the benzene split fraction as 1, I am telling that whatever split fraction, whatever percentage of benzene is entering the column, each and every single drop of it should come to the top outlet. Not a single drop of it should go into the bottom outlet. Getting my point? Once again, I am repeating. Once I fulfill my input stream data and I will hit the next button, the Aspen will take me to this particular B1 specification. B1 specification means B1 is my column. I doesn't rename it as column separator, so it's appearing as B1 only. So it will be asking me about the specification. Specification regarding what? Specification regarding the basis on which the column will separate my components. So I have fed in the data. I have fed in the data in terms of split fractions. Since this particular model only works on a split fraction or split flows. Okay. So I am interested in dealing with split fraction thing. So for now, what I am doing is I am feeding in the specification data with respect to stream number 2. Okay. So for stream number 2, I have provided that the split fraction should be 1. That means whatever benzene is entering the column, entering the component separator, should be coming out as the top outlet stream. And in the top, there should not be any toluene present. That means it should be a very perfect separation should be there. In the top stream, each and every single thing should be benzene, and in the bottom stream, toluene should be there. So top stream would be pure benzene and the bottom stream would be pure toluene, which is not practically feasible, let me tell you. So what I'm saying is, you don't compare these things with the real application or practicality. For the these are the things for concept build up. So just take those things as in this way, that we are building our concepts and we are just learning. We are in learning phase. So we are just learning that how Aspen works and how specifically with any model we can deal. Okay. So I will just go ahead and I will just show you that this stream 1 was containing 0.5 mole fraction of benzene and 0.5 mole fraction of toluene. And in the top stream, that is your second stream, we have 1. The mole fraction of benzene is 1. And in the bottom stream, that is your stream number 4, we have the mole fraction of toluene as 1. So you can see what a clear-cut separation we have achieved, which is practically next to impossible. So, but for the time being, this thing is very ideal. That's why we were able to achieve this particular thing. And in this way, we can simulate our component separator. Okay. So let me tell you let me discuss some modifications. Okay, this modifications will help you understanding that how we can play with this split fraction thing and we can change our desired output and something like that. Okay, so what I am telling over there, in this case, I was having 0. Okay, 0. I was having 0 toluene in the top stream. Since I have defined the split fraction with respect to stream number 2. But for now, I have changed something. I have brought in some modification. Now what I have done, I am telling the Aspen that the split fraction for benzene should be 1. That whatever benzene is entering the component, entering the column separator, should be coming out as in the top stream, in the top outlet. But toluene should be present as 10%. But 10% toluene should be present in the top stream as well. Okay. So what will be how our answers will be getting affected? Just look in the way. See, the benzene mole fraction is 0.91 almost, and this is your 0.09. But the toluene in the second stream is still 1, since we have not provided any specification regarding this particular stream. So this is how you can play. So, and you all can see that this is your 0.45 and 0.55, since this is containing your 0.5 is your nothing but your benzene, and plus 0.05 is your toluene. This is why, because 0.5 initially toluene was present, and if I say 10% of that, 10% of 0.5 would be 0.05. That's why there is an addition of 0.05 over there, and the decrement of 0.05 in the bottom stream. Okay, so I hope this particular thing is clear to you all. And in this way, we can deal any model. Just think it in a very simple way, take it in a very simple way, and you will be able to understand all those things. Okay, so anyone have any problem regarding how this thing works, the split fractions and all? I think this thing is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so would you like to take a break for 5 minutes, or shall we move ahead?
Sir, break.
Okay, just take a break of 5 minutes. We will be back by 12:15. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Be back by 12:15.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I hope everyone is back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is our last topic for today's lecture, that is sensitivity analysis and design spec. So basically, sensitivity analysis and design spec, if I will define these two things in a very simple way, so I can say that Aspen has these two tools inbuilt with it, which can help you in analyzing your problem. In what way you can do that thing, I will be explaining it with the help of an example which is just portrayed in front of you all. So I will be just explaining these two things, and sensitivity analysis and design aspect. One thing is your sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis is a thing which you can perform and which depends on your desired set point, or you can say that you have to maintain something or you want to achieve certain thing, and there is some variable which is present over there in your system which is affecting your that particular desired thing. So you can perform a sensitivity analysis just to make a study or just to understand that how the variation in your input is affecting your output. Okay, getting my point. In case of sensitivity analysis, what you can do, you can make a study of your input variable versus your output variable, and you can see that how the changes in your input variable brought in by, or just changing the your output variable. Okay, talking about the design spec. In design spec, what we do, we specify our specification. That means we specify the thing, that this particular thing I want. Depending on this particular thing, just tell me the value of my input variable. Okay, so there is a difference in sensitivity analysis and different and design spec. In sensitivity analysis, what we do, we study the variation between your input variable and the output variable. We doesn't fix anything, we doesn't decide anything, or we doesn't do anything. What sensitivity analysis will do for us, it will just give us an analysis that this is the variation in your input, and with this variation in your input, this is the variation, this is the desired variation is in your output. But in case of design spec, what we do, we define our desired specification for the output, and based on that, our input variable is calculated. So for example, and for understanding these two things, I have taken one very simple example. Since we are only covering the mixer and the component separator, that's why I am focusing on these models. Otherwise, this particular tools, that is your sensitivity analysis and design spec, can be applied to any model of your interest. Okay. Uh, in any model you can apply. If suppose that you are working with any distillation column, any reactor, you can apply sensitivity analysis and design spec on those too. But yeah, the way of implementing these tools would be different depending on the variables that you are having with yourself, and the decision making variable and the manipulating variable, whatever the variables you have with yourself. Depending on that, the ways may be different. But yeah, you can apply these two techniques or these two tools which are built in with Aspen to any model of your interest. Okay, so what I will do is I will be explaining this particular thing with the help of sensitivity analysis and design spec with the help of this particular problem state. Okay, so let me take you to the aspect. I have added each and every single slide stepwise procedure that how you can follow up with your sensitivity analysis and design spec in Aspen Plus in the PPT. But this particular thing is a bit complex, so I will be describing this by performing this in front of you all. So well, initially, when I will open Aspen, I will be clicking on this blank simulation. I will be clicking create, and we only have two components with us. One is my isobutane, and the other component is your isobutene. Okay, and this is our recycle stream, which may be coming from a different, unit operation, and we have one fresh feed stream of pure isobutane, which is of 100 kilomole per hour. Okay, and this is my desired product stream. Okay, so we only have two component with us. One is your isobutane. I will say fine now. not contains. You can select begins with or equals. So okay, I have isobutane over here. I have selected, and the second component that I have is isobutene. Again, I will say find now. Okay, begins with. Okay, there is no isobutene, I guess. So no, it is present, but the name should be like this, I guess. One butene must be, maybe one butene. Yeah, this is your isobutene. So you may be it's a bit tricky that to select the component, but you have your different names of that particular component in your mind to make the selection. Okay, so this is your isobutane and this is your isobutene, the two components that we have with us. And I will hit next button. And the base model which I have selected for this particular thing is Chaucer again. So again, I will go for this Chaucer base method. The selection of the model, just keep things for mind. Just we are just selecting this thing. There is some background that how we can select that thing, and I will be explaining this thing in the later lecture. I will be providing you some plots regarding the means some pictorial illustrations regarding the selection of this particular base method, which will assist you in understanding the techniques which is present in selection of a base method, that how we should judge that, how we should decide that this particular method should be selected for my this particular component. Okay, so for now we are selecting Chaucer model, and I will be hitting next button, and then I will be selecting go to simulation environment, and I will be hitting OK. So Aspen will take me to simulation environment where I have to add my model. So I will be adding my mixer. I will be adding my mixer. I will just click on that. I will just drag it, zoom it a bit. I hope everyone is this is visible to everyone, no? My Aspen Plus UI.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have just clicked on this material stream and I will be adding two streams. So I will click on that. I will just relocate it and I will leave it and then I will stretch it. Okay. And I will click it, I will relocate it, and then I will leave it, and again then I will stretch it. Just keep this procedure in mind, otherwise you will be end up in adding the streams in here only if you will leave it. Okay, don't leave the left mouse button before relocating it. Okay, relocate it where in whatever position you want to relocate it, but that don't leave your left mouse button. Just click it over there, move it, then leave it, and then it stretches, and then again click. Okay. So this is a procedure I have mentioned in the PPT as well. Okay, just click it over there and stretch it. Okay, so I have added my desired stream and I am cancelling the insertion mode by pressing my right mouse button. Okay, so this is my mixer. Again, I'm renaming it as mixer, and this is my stream one, which is your pure feed. So I will be just writing it as pure feed, or you can pure feed only, pure feed. This is my isobutane, and this is my binary mixture, or you can write it as recycle stream, so that we don't confuse with while defining these streams that what component is present. And this is my product. So based on our question, based on our problem specification, we have defined three streams. One is my feed, second is my recycle, and third is my product. So in the similar way, I have defined these streams. So that is one is my feed, one is my recycle, and one is my product. So once this thing is completed, you will see that your flow sheet is complete and it's turned into blue tick. Okay. So I will hit next button. Now Aspen will ask me about the input data regarding the feed input and the recycle input. There is no data required for the product, since product is the output stream. Okay, so we have to feed in data for your input, feed, and recycle. Okay, so just let me check that what data I have provided, and data is 50, 1 bar, and 100. Okay, it's okay, then just 50. It is your 1 bar, and this is your 100. I think I have mentioned it in the question as well. The problem statement as well. Yes, it is 100 kilomole per hour, but temperature and pressure is not mentioned over there. So just having a look over there, and it is 100 kilomole per hour, and that particular thing is purely isobutane. That means the mole fraction is isobutane. Okay. Okay. So this thing is defined. So that means my feed stream is flowing at a rate of 100 kilomole per hour at 50 degrees Celsius temperature and 1 bar pressure, and that particular stream is containing the mole fraction of isobutane as 1. That means the stream is purely isobutane. Okay, so I will be hitting my next button, and now I will be asked by Aspen to feed in data regarding the recycle stream. Okay, so once again I will just have a look at this particular thing, 50 and 1 bar. So 50 and 1 bar, and this is your say mole fraction is your 0.8 and 0.2, I guess 0.2 for the specified problem. So here comes the real problem in front of us. Still that particular symbol is red. Still we didn't have provided enough data to perform the simulation. Okay, to perform the simulation. So the problem statement that we have with us was this one, in which we have a feed flow rate for the feed stream, but we don't have any idea regarding the feed flow rate of this, but we have the product specification with us. Okay, so in this scenario, what we can do, if we will hit next button, the Aspen will tell you that substream not complete, that is total flow must be specified, that is, this is your total flow rate, must be specified when component basis mole fraction, mass fraction, or standard volumetric fraction. That means whether you have to define your molar flow over there, or you have to define your mole flow over there. Since I have defined my composition here over here, that is my in the recycle stream, 80% of that is isobutane and 20% of that is butene. So, but I don't have any idea regarding my flow rate. So what I will do, I will just initialize it from 100. For just for example, and once I put 100 over there, it says it's completed, it's the input is complete, and I will say next, and it will run. Let me see what happens. I will be able to perform the simulation, I guess. Yes, Aspen will perform the simulation for me. But what about the stream? What about the stream summary? Talking about the stream summary, we were interested in generating or having 0.95 and 0.05. Correct? Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
What we were interested in? We were interested in having a product stream with the composition of 95% of isobutane and 5% of isobutene. Correct? This is the problem statement. This is what this is what desired is, and this is what we have obtained. So is it correct? Is it correct?
No, sir.
Obviously not. It's not correct, since the desired specification is not met yet. Okay, so that means the assumption of 100 kilomole per hour of the recycle stream was incorrect, since that thing is affecting our product composition. So tell me whether I should increase the recycle stream flow rate or whether I should decrease the recycle stream flow rate to reach my desired set point. Conceptually, what I should do? I should increase or I should decrease?
सर इंक्रीज करना चाहिए.
Increase. Okay. Anyone else? Come on, guys. कुछ तो बोलो. Fundamentally क्या हो रहा है?
सर इंक्रीज
करना पड़ेगा. Can you elaborate why?
सर रिसाइकल से सर जो जितना भी जाएगा सर वो फिर मिक्स हो करके फिर तो वो ज्यादा फंक्शन उसका वर्क करेगा मिक्सर के अंदर सर.
मुझे मिक्सर के आउटपुट में 95% आइसोब्यूटेन मेंटेन करना है और मिक्सर के आउटपुट में ही 5% आइसोब्यूटीन मेंटेन करना है. तो रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम को मैं इंक्रीज करूंगा या डिक्रीज करूंगा, ये क्वेश्चन है. आपका कहना ये है कि हम लोग रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम को इंक्रीज करेंगे. सो डोंट यू थिंक कि अगर मैं रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम को इंक्रीज करता हूं, ये हमारे आउटपुट स्ट्रीम में आइसोब्यूटेन के परसेंटेज को डिक्रीज करेगा?
यस सर.
तो हमें डिक्रीज करना है कि हमें इंक्रीज करना है? समझ नहीं पा रहे हो आप लोग, क्वेश्चन को समझो। देखो हमारे पास ये एक स्ट्रीम है और हमारे पास ये एक स्ट्रीम है, ठीक है, और हमारे पास ये प्रोडक्ट है। हमने ये देखा कि अगर हमने इसे 100 किया है तो ये 90 मोल परसेंट आ रहा है। नाउ माय क्वेश्चन इज, शुड आई गो टू फ्रॉम 100 to 200 और शुड आई गो फ्रॉम 100 to 50 so that I can get nearer to 95%? दैट मींस अगर मेरा रिसाइकल फ्लो रेट इंक्रीज करूंगा तो क्या ये ये मोल परसेंट इंक्रीज होगा या डिक्रीज होगा? कॉन्सेप्चुअली सोचो भाई मेरे। देखो ये तुम्हारा प्योरली आइसोब्यूटेन है, ये तुम्हारा मिक्सर आ रहा है, ठीक है। अगर आप इसका फ्लो रेट इंक्रीज करोगे दैट
Decrease
मींस
होगा।
यू आर इंक्रीजिंग द अमाउंट ऑफ आइसोब्यूटेन एज वेल। और अगर आप
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
यार अगर आप आइसोब्यूटेन के भी अमाउंट को इंक्रीज करोगे द मोल फ्रैक्शन विल डिक्रीज। समझ रहे हो?
यस सर।
तो
Yes, sir, समझ गया।
आइडियली होना क्या चाहिए? द रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम
डिक्रीज
फ्लो
होना
रेट शुड बी डिक्रीज,
डिक्रीज यस।
Decrease कर
ठीक है। और अगर मैं इसे डिक्रीज करता हूं दैट मींस वी शुड बी एबल टू अचीव आवर डिजायर्ड। ओके, लेट मी से आई एम गोइंग फॉर 80। अब मुझे पता नहीं, आई एम जस्ट गोइंग फॉर हिट एंड ट्रायल, मुझे ही पता नहीं कि भाई क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा। अगेन आई विल हिट नेक्स्ट बटन, आई विल से ओके, and I guess the results are available. Yes, you see on decreasing my product composition, for someone's mic is not off, I guess. Kindly mute your mic.
ओके सर।
Yeah. So on decreasing the recycle flow rate, we can see that our composition for isobutane is increasing. Correct. In earlier case it was 0.9 and it was 0.1, but for now it is 0.91 and it is 0.089. So that means on decreasing the recycle flow rate, we are able to achieve increase the composition for that particular isobutane in the product stream. But is it feasible to perform this hit and trial method? Is it feasible? Do we have any concrete idea about at what value of recycle flow rate we will exactly hit the 95% of 95% of isobutane in the product stream? Do we have any idea? No. Correct?
No, sir.
So for this reason, we have certain tools with us, that one is sensitivity analysis and one is your design spec. So what I will do, I will first show you what sensitivity analysis. And for sensitivity analysis, you will just have to go to this particular thing, that is your model analysis tool. I hope it is visible to everyone. I hope it is visible to everyone. दिख रहा है सभी को? दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
और सभी
Yes,
लोग
sir.
रीजन जान रहे हैं हम लोग क्यों ऐसा कर रहे हैं?
yes, sir.
देखो द
Yes, sir.
कॉन्सेप्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आपके पास मॉडल कोई भी हो सकता है। आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू कि आपके पास मॉडल मिक्सर ही होगा, आपके पास मॉडल रिएक्टर ही होगा, आपके पास मॉडल कोई एक कन्वेंशनल रिएक्टर सेपरेटर ही होगा। बट माई फंडामेंटल इज सेइंग मी दैट कि मुझे आपको ये समझाना है कि हम लोग सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस परफॉर्म कब करते हैं, हम लोग डिजाइन स्पेक अप्लाई कब करते हैं। ठीक है, जब कोई हमारे पास डेटा ऐसा होता नहीं, जैसे हमारे पास इस प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट में रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम का फ्लो रेट नहीं था, बट हमारे पास ये था कि हमें प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रीम में ये कॉम्पोजिशन मेंटेन करना है। जब भी इस टाइप का कोई एक लूप होल वाला प्रॉब्लम हमारे पास आए ना, तो उस समय हमें सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस या डिजाइन स्पेक अप्लाई करके ही हम लोग अपने डिजायर्ड आंसर तक रीच कर पाएंगे। आई होप यू ऑल अंडरस्टैंड कि फंडामेंटल किस तरीके से काम हो रहा है। ठीक है, तो अगर आप यहाँ पे समझ पा रहे हो तो यहाँ पे मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि किस तरीके से आप सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस ऐड कर सकते हो। ठीक है, तो मैं यहाँ पे नेविगेशन पेन पे मैं यहाँ पे मॉडल एनालिसिस टूल पर जाऊंगा। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई विल गो टू दिस पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन. If I will click on that, a drop menu will appear in front of me, which will be having options like sensitivity, optimization, constraint, data fit. We can perform each and every single thing, but for now we are focusing on sensitivity analysis, and we will click on this particular sensitivity option. So once we click on that, something like this will appear in front of us. Okay, then we will hit on this new button. Once we hit on this new button, enter ID with the name of S1 will appear automatically, and we will click OK. Once we click OK, this particular thing will appear in front of us. That means we have added one sensitivity analysis segment for this particular problem statement, in which now we have asked to fill in the data required. That means we are now, the Aspen is asking us, since you have added one segment of sensitivity analysis, now tell me, Aspen is asking us, now tell me, you want to perform this sensitivity analysis for which variable and with respect to which variable? Getting my point? Getting my point?
एक बार फिर से
अगर मैं इन वेरी इजी वर्ड्स इसे कहूं तो सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस सेगमेंट को ऐड करने के बाद एस्पेन हमसे ये पूछेगा कि आप अब ये हमें बताइए कि आप किस डिफाइन करना चाह रहे हैं और आप किस पर्टिकुलर वेरिएबल के सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस को आप स्टडी करना चाह रहे हैं और किस वेरिएबल के रिस्पेक्ट में सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस को आप, मतलब दो चीजें, एक है कंट्रोल वेरिएबल, एक है मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल. So what particular control variable you are focusing on and what is your manipulated variable, ये पूछना चाह रहे, ये हमें अभी डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा. समझ गए? किस नहीं समझ पाए? जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल हमारा क्या है, अगर मैं प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट की बात करूं, तो वी हैव दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट बिजनेस. ठीक है, हमारे पास अगर मैं सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस की बात करूं तो हमारे पास जो प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रीम में जो कॉम्पोजिशन है ये हमारा डिजायर्ड सेट पॉइंट है. दैट मींस हमें सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस परफॉर्म करना है किसके रिस्पेक्ट में, किसी भी एक मोल फ्रैक्शन के रिस्पेक्ट में. ठीक है, वेदर इट इज आइसोब्यूटेन और वेदर इट इज आइसोब्यूटीन, क्योंकि दो ही कंपोनेंट है और मोल फ्रैक्शन एक कंपोनेंट का डिफाइन होते ही दूसरे कंपोनेंट का ऑटोमेटिकली डिफाइन हो जाता है. सो किसी एक का हम लोग करेंगे तो उससे हमारा काम चल जाएगा. दैट मींस आवर डिजायर्ड सेट पॉइंट रिलाइज ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर वेरिएबल, दैट इज योर मोल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ एनी कंपोनेंट इन द प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रीम. ठीक है, दैट मींस ये हमारा हो गया क्या, ये हमारा हो गया कंट्रोल वेरिएबल, मतलब इसे हमें कंट्रोल करना है, इसे हमें लाना है. और हम किसे वेरी कर सकते हैं, तो हम रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम के फ्लो रेट को वेरी कर सकते हैं. समझ पा रहे हो? हम रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम के फ्लो रेट को वेरी कर सकते हैं, मतलब इसके वेरिएशन के साथ इसमें क्या वेरिएशन आ रहा है, इस चीज को हमें स्टडी करना है. इज इट क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर?
यस सर.
ठीक है, और अगर हम इसे वेरी कर रहे हैं तो हमें क्या करना है, जब हमारे पास ये आ गया, देखो अब ध्यान से देखो क्या कैसे मैं कर रहा हूं. क्लिक ऑन दिस न्यू. ओके, दिस थिंग विल ऑटोमेटिकली एडेड ओवर देयर. ठीक है, अब हमसे ये पूछा जा रहा है टाइप, आपका जो मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल है वो किस टाइप का है. तो हमारे पास ये सारे ऑप्शंस हैं. ठीक है, तो इसमें से हमें क्या सेलेक्ट करना है, इसमें से हमें सेलेक्ट करना है स्ट्रीम वेरिएबल. देखो ये सिलेक्शन जो है ना ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट और ये बहुत वाइटल है. द डेफिनेशन ऑफ योर मैनिपुलेटिव वेरिएबल एंड द डेफिनेशन फॉर योर कंट्रोल वेरिएबल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज बेस्ड ऑन दीज इट विल डिपेंड कि सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस आपको कैसा रिजल्ट देगा. ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चन अराइजेस कि सर मैंने यहाँ पे स्ट्रीम वेरिएबल क्यों सिलेक्ट किया, क्योंकि हमारा जो रिसाइकल फ्लो रेट है, रिसाइकिल जो है ये एक स्ट्रीम है. ठीक है, ये एक स्ट्रीम है रिसाइकिल, दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव सेलेक्टेड रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम. ठीक है, और अगर कुछ और होता तो मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि कुछ और में होगा तो फिर वो कैसे होगा. अब हमें सिर्फ बताना है कि कौन सा स्ट्रीम है, तो भाई रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम है. ठीक है, रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम है तो फिर इसमें वेरिएबल क्या है, तो इसमें वेरिएबल मोल फ्लो है. मोल फ्लो क्यों है, क्योंकि मोल फ्लो इन टर्म्स ऑफ किलो मोल पर आवर आपने डिफाइन कर रखा है यहाँ पे 100 किलो मोल पर आवर, 80 किलो मोल पर आवर, तो हम किलो मोल पर आवर के रिस्पेक्ट में उसे वेरी कर रहे हैं. नाउ अब हमें ये पता है कि 100 पे 0.9 था, 80 पे 0.91 है, ये और डिक्रीज होगा. तो हमें ये पता नहीं कि भाई कहां तक ये डिक्रीज होगा. तो ठीक है, लेट अस स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 10 एंड लेट्स मूव टू 80, क्योंकि 80 में पता है वो 0.91 दे रहा है. ठीक है, हमें 0.95 चाहिए, तो समवेयर इन बिटवीन दीज टू ऐसा होना चाहिए. ठीक है, और इंक्रीमेंट बाई 1 दे दो, इंक्रीमेंट बाई 1 दे दो. तो एज यू क्लिक ऑन दिस वन यू विल बी सी कि आपका जो वैरी था वो प्रॉपर्ली डिफाइन हो चुका है. ये सारा चीज क्लियर हुआ, whatever I have made the input, ये क्लियर हुआ. Is it clear to everyone?
यस.
ठीक है।
यस सर।
सबसे पहले क्या करना है, सबसे पहले वैरी में आते ही हमें न्यू को क्लिक करना है। जैसे हम न्यू पे क्लिक करेंगे ये ऑटोमेटिकली ऐड हो जाएगा सेगमेंट, और उसके बाद हमें फर्दर यहाँ पे अपने स्ट्रीम्स को डिफाइन करना है। तो यहाँ पे वैरी हमें करना है जो हमारा वैरी हो रहा है, दैट इज योर मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल। तो सबसे पहले हमें डिफाइन करना है द टाइप ऑफ वेरिएबल। ओके, for our this particular problem statement we are having our recycle stream which is getting varied. Okay, that's why I have selected stream variable over there. और उसके बाद this segment will appear in front of you that if you are selecting the stream variable, then I have to select which stream is my working as that particular variable, that is my recycle stream. It's a mixed stream obviously because it has two components with this, and then it is variable in it is in mole flow, since we have in the problem statement we have defined the flow rate of steam recycle stream in the terms of mole flow basis, that is your kilomole per hour. That's why I have selected mole flow over here and the units is kilomole per hour. Now I have to give the data points from where to where I want to see the variation of my manipulated variable, and with respect to this thing the desired output will be defined. Okay, so I have to finish up all this thing and I have to define again. Then definition will be coming to our, this definition will be for my my control variable, that is the my composition. So I will say isobutane C, that is your isobutane composition. Okay, you can give it any name. Okay, so this is added. Now this is, so again this is what, this is again a stream variable. Okay, so again references in type, this is your mole fraction, stream is your product stream, and component is your isobutane. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
मोल फ्रैक्शन क्यों सेलेक्ट किया मैंने? मोल फ्रैक्शन मैंने यहाँ पे क्यों सिलेक्ट किया है?
सर हम मोल फ्रैक्शन में ही तो बात वहाँ पे शो करना है, हमें दिखाना है मोल फ्रैक्शन में ही जो दिया हुआ है।
पक्का?
यस सर।
यहाँ पे मोल फ्लो नहीं होगा?
सर मोल फ्रैक्शन में ही तो हम वर्क कर रहे हैं, जो हमें प्रॉब्लम दी गई है, इसलिए।
आपका जो डिजायर्ड कंट्रोल वेरिएबल है वो जिस टर्म में होता है हमें उसी के रिस्पेक्ट में यहाँ पे चीजें डिफाइन करनी होती है, ठीक है, याद रखिएगा। तो हमें हमारा डिजायर्ड प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रीम, डिजायर्ड स्ट्रीम जो है वो एक स्ट्रीम है क्योंकि वो एक प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रीम है, ठीक है। अब उस प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रीम में हमें मोल फ्रैक्शन को कंट्रोल करना है, ठीक है। आप उस स्ट्रीम के फ्लो रेट को कंट्रोल नहीं कर रहे हो, ठीक है। अगर आप उस स्ट्रीम के फ्लो रेट को कंट्रोल कर रहे होते कि भाई मुझे प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रीम के अपने फ्लो रेट को कंट्रोल करना है विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम, तब मैं यहाँ पे मोल फ्लो लेता। बट यहाँ पे मैं एक किसी पर्टिकुलर कंपोनेंट के मोल फ्रैक्शन को गवर्न करना चाह रहा हूँ, दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव सिलेक्टेड मोल फ्रैक्शन ओवर हियर। क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन?
यस सर।
क्या हो भाई, सब लोग सो गए क्या?
यस सर। यस
Yes, sir.
जगह पे हो कि सो गए? भाई ऐसे अगर इसी क्लास में सो गए तो भाई इसके क्लासेस, अगले क्लासेस तो और लेंदी होने वाले हैं। 3-3 घंटे का लेक्चर लूंगा मैं, तो फिर कैसे काम चलेगा? सीखना है तो भैया मेहनत तो करना पड़ेगा भाई, मुझे भी लग रहा है तुम्हें भी करना पड़ेगा, क्या कर सकते हैं। चलो यहाँ तक क्लियर हो गया हो तो वी विल क्लिक ऑन दिस नेक्स्ट बटन। चलो और 15 मिनट लगेगा हार्डली, 1 बजे तक आई विल लीव यू ऑल। ओके, फिर यहाँ पे जैसे टैबलेट पे आओगे ना, आप फिल वेरिएबल्स कर दो, ये ऑटोमेटिकली भर जाएगा, और फिर नेक्स्ट पे क्लिक करो और ओके कर दो, ठीक है। तो आप देख पाओगे कि इसका साइन जो, इसका कलर जो है वो ब्लू हो चुका है। और इसमें अगर आप रिजल्ट्स पे जाओगे, देख पा रहे हो ये हमने ऐड किया था, इसका हमने इनपुट सब कुछ डाल दिया था, अब इसके रिजल्ट्स भी जनरेट हो गए हैं। तो इसके रिजल्ट्स पे हम लोग जाएंगे, हमने 10 से स्टार्ट किया था, ठीक है, 10 से स्टार्ट किया था, तो 10 पे तो 98% आ रहा है, दैट इज योर मोल फ्रैक्शन। हमारा डिजायर्ड क्या था? 95 आई कैन सी, वी कैन सी कि ये नियर अबाउट ये आ रहा है, देख पा रहे हो?
Yes, sir.
देख पा रहे हो सभी लोग? देख रहे हो किस तरीके से हमने सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस अप्लाई किया और हमने देखा कि आइसोब्यूटेन का जो कंपोजिशन है उसमें कैसा वेरिएशन आ रहा है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू माय रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम फ्लो रेट। अगर मेरे रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम का फ्लो रेट का ऐसा ऐसा वैल्यू है तो व्हाट वुड बी द रिस्पेक्टिव आइसोब्यूटेन कंपोजिशन, इस तरीके से हम देख सकते हैं। बट क्या हमें अभी तक आंसर मिला है? हमारा आंसर ये था कि भाई 95% फिक्स करना है, तो हम क्या करें? क्या हमें अभी भी एग्जैक्ट 95% मिला है? नहीं मिला है। इट इज समहाउ क्लोज टू इट, बट एग्जैक्टली अभी तक हमें 95% नहीं मिला है। ये भी क्लोज है, ये भी क्लोज है, बट इट शुड बी बिटवीन 33 एंड 34, बट स्टिल वी आर समवेयर, वी डोंट हैव एग्जैक्ट फिगर्स विद अस कि भाई हमें एग्जैक्टली पता नहीं कि व्हाट शुड बी द फ्लो रेट ऑफ our recycle stream so that we can get 95% mole percent as your product stream composition for isobutane. Okay, तो आप एक चीज देखो, हमने सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस परफॉर्म किया है, हम अब स्ट्रीम रिजल्ट समरी पे जा रहे हैं। तो स्ट्रीम समरी अभी भी अनअफेक्टेड है, ये वो 80 वाला ही शो कर रहा है जो कि 80 के समय शो कर रहा था। इसका मतलब ये होता है कि सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस आप जब भी परफॉर्म करोगे एस्पेन प्लस पे, तो वो आपके डिजाइन को, जो आपका डिजाइन ऑलरेडी सिमुलेट होकर आ चुका है, उससे आपको इफेक्ट नहीं करेगा। सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस कैसे काम करता है? ये आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स रह के वो आपको स्टडी करने में हेल्प करता है। वो आपके बॉक्स के अंदर छेड़छाड़ नहीं करेगा, वो आपके किसी भी स्ट्रीम्स को इफेक्ट नहीं करेगा। वो आपको एक अलग तरीके से बताता है कि अच्छा आपका ये स्ट्रीम्स है, तो इसमें अगर आप ये चेंजेस लाओगे तो आपके रिस्पेक्टिव और डिजायर्ड वेरिएबल में ऐसे ऐसे चेंजेस आएंगे विदाउट अफेक्टिंग योर रिजल्ट्स। ठीक है, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नोट डाउन कि सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस डजंट अफेक्ट आवर रिजल्ट। So without affecting your result, our result, it will be telling us about the variation of manipulated variables with respect to your control variable. Okay. So we have performed the sensitivity analysis very successfully, but still we are not, we didn't reach our conclusion point yet, since we doesn't have reached the 95% composition of our this particular thing of your isobutane in the product stream. So what I will do, I will delete this thing, since this thing helped me in understanding the nature or the behavior of the flow rates, or somewhere it took me very close to the value, but still I didn't reach my exact value. So what I will do, I will delete this. I will say okay, delete, because I was unsatisfied. So I was like okay, by performing this, I got an idea of that in this range, it's a very narrow range, that is 33 to 34. The value of recycle stream flow rate should be in between these two, but still I don't have the exact value with me. So now what I will do, I will go to design spec, and for selecting the design spec, we have to go to the flow sheeting option, as we did in previous case. We navigate to the model analysis tool to get the option of sensitivity over there, but the design spec is present under the section of flow sheeting options, and we will be getting design spec over there. So right now I will click on this design spec, then I will click on this new, and DS1 will automatically be generated. So I will be hitting OK, and like this wise the design spec will tell us. So this particular thing will appear in front of us. So in case of sensitivity, the first thing that Aspen asked us was to define the vary, that is your manipulating variable, but in this case it is in the third stage, okay, for design spec thing. So now it has asked me to define what we have to define. In define, we have to define our control variable. So what I will do, I will hit next, I will hit isobut composition C, again I will say okay, and then it is a stream variable, then again I will navigate to type, then I will say mole fraction, then I will say stream is my product stream, then I will say the component is my isobutane. Okay, once I define all these things, it will automatically turn into blue tick, and I will say next. Spec about what? Spec about isobutane C. Okay, the target value is 0.95. Just see the difference. In design spec, I can fill in my desired specification directly, and Aspen will give me the value for the manipulated variable accordingly. Okay, but for sensitivity, I was not supposed to do this thing because this option was not available over there. Now let me give some idea regarding the vary. Okay, once I was there, I will hit next. This is vary, Vary what? Vary my recycle stream, so which is a stream variable. Again, I will say stream variable, and this stream is my recycle stream, and the variable is my mole flow. Okay, vary from 10 to 80. I will keep the range same. I will say step size is 1, and rest all is done. Or you can leave this thing left also. We are not bothered about the step size. Okay, so once we are done with this, what we have done, we have just defined our manipulative variable. I have just defined the range of it, and which particular variable the Aspen should vary to achieve my this desired spec. Okay, I hope this thing is clear to you all. What I have done, once I come to the design spec, this particular thing will appear in front of me, which will ask me to define the control variable. That means the thing which I am in need to control, I will define that thing. So for that purpose, I have defined a isobut C variable over there, which is my nothing but isobutane composition. Okay, you can have a different name for that, which is a stream variable. And then I have selected mole fraction over here, since in the product stream, I am interested in governing the composition of butane as 0.95. So I have selected this particular isobutane component over there, and I have said next. Then I navigate the Aspen took me to spec, where I have defined the spec is my this particular variable, that whatever desired variable is this particular variable, this is isobutane C. The target value is 0.95. With this particular option was not available in sensitivity analysis, so I can set my desired target value, and I have given one minimum tolerance, that within range of this particular tolerance the answer is acceptable. Okay, so again, once again I hit next, and the answer, the MATLAB the Aspen asked me about the manipulated variable, and then in the manipulated variable I defined the type of the things, that is the what is the type of my manipulated variable. So I selected my stream variable, then I selected the stream, that is my recycle stream, and then I selected the mole flow, because I have defined in the problem statement on the basis of mole flow, and I provided a range of this particular for this particular thing, that in particular this range, just look for the correct answer which will take me to this particular desired target. Okay, and once I was in this, I will hit next, and all the required is completed. I will say okay, and no errors and no warning was generated, and I will see the result. So in the result segment, you all can see the exact value is 33.3752. So this is the value of your recycle flow rate. So at this particular value, you will be achieving this thing, 0.949953, which is within the range of our permissible limit. The tolerance limit, whatever I have given over there, within that range, I can achieve that particular desired output. So for this particular recycle flow rate, I will be achieving this particular composition of isobutane in my product stream. So in this way, you can perform your sensitivity analysis and design spec. So these are the very important tools. आप जब भी Aspen Plus को यूज करते हो डिजाइनिंग के लिए, मतलब इन अ वेरी बेसिक लेवल और प्राइमरी लेवल पे जब आप उसे यूज करते हो, तो आप सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस को यूज कर सकते हो और आप डिजाइन स्पेक को यूज कर सकते हो, जिससे कि आप अपने मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल और कंट्रोल वेरिएबल्स को कंट्रोल कर सकते हो या आप उसके साथ प्ले कर सकते हो। तो आई होप कि आज का लेक्चर आप लोगों को सही लगा हो या समझ में आया हो, और आज का लेक्चर हम यहीं पे एंड करेंगे। And in the next lecture, we will go through reactors and the different configurations of reactors, और we will brush up some fundamentals। हम लोग देखेंगे कि fundamentally जो हमने पढ़ा है reactors के साथ क्या वो simulation भी हमें वही दे रहा है कि नहीं दे रहा है। We will go through those things. So I hope कि each and every single thing which has been taught to you in today's lecture is clear to all of you.
Sir, one question.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Sir, in case जैसे हमने स्पेक एनालिसिस किया, तो सेंसिटिव एनालिसिस में अगर हम जैसे हमें रेंज पता चलिए कि 33 से 34 के अप्रोक्स हमारा जो आएगा रिसाइकल स्ट्रीम को रखेंगे, जो आउटपुट आएगा उसमें 95% आएगा, तो अगर सब उसमें रेंज हम 33 से 34 रख के और स्टेप साइज 0.001 रखेंगे, तो क्या सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस में एग्जैक्ट स्पेक की तरह वैल्यू नहीं पुट कर नहीं आएगी रिसाइकल?
एकदम आएगा, बट द पॉइंट इज दैट आपको वो फिर से करना पड़ेगा।
यस सर,
समझ रहे हो? आप 33 से 34 आप एक नैरोअर रेंज पे गए, ठीक है, आपको पता चला 33 से 34 के बीच में आपने रखा 0.001, अगर आप 0.001 रखते हो दैट मींस द इंटरवल इज डिवाइडेड इनटू 1000 इंटरवल्स, करेक्ट। आप 33 और 34 को 1000 इंटरवल्स में आपने तोड़ दिया है, तो आप ही सोच सकते हो कि इट विल टेक सम कैलकुलेशन टाइम, कैलकुलेशन टाइम बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा, और सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस आपको देगा तो आपको हर एक वैल्यू पे वो वैल्यू बताएगा, और इट मे पॉसिबल कि आप उसे अचीव भी कर लो, बट समहाउ वो होता ही है कि इट्स अ टाइम टेकिंग प्रोसेस है। ऐसी बात नहीं है कि आप एग्जैक्ट फिगर तक रीच नहीं कर पाओगे, सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस से आप रीच कर सकते हो, बट हाँ ये है कि आपको विंडो नैरोअर करते रहना पड़ेगा, विंडो आपको छोटा से छोटा करते रहना पड़ेगा, टिल it will take some time that you reach your desired product, desired value. समझ पा रहे हो?
तो सर जब हम प्रॉब्लम सोल्व करेंगे तो हमें अगर हमें ये इस तरह का केस फाइंड होता है कि हमें सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस यूज करना है या स्पेक एनालिसिस, हम इसको कैसे मैनिपुलेट करें कि हमें ये फर्स्टली हम ये यूज कर लें?
नहीं देखो, होता ये है कि देखो सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस से आपको एक आइडिया मिल जाएगा कि देखो होता ये है कि देखो अभी क्या था कि हमें ये पता चल रहा था कि भाई हमें अगर रिसाइकिल फ्लो रेट को आप डिक्रीज करते हो तो आपका जो कॉम्पोजिशन है प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रीम में वो इंक्रीज कर रहा है, ठीक है। बट कभी कभी होता ये है कि अगर सिस्टम हमारे पास कॉम्प्लेक्स है, मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल्स हमारे पास ऐसे हैं जिसके ऊपर हम कोई कमेंट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं कि वेदर आई शुड इंक्रीज द मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल और आई शुड डिक्रीज द मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल टू गेट द डिजायर्ड चेंज इन माय आउटपुट वेरिएबल, करेक्ट। तो इन दैट केस आपको पहले सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस परफॉर्म करना पड़ेगा। आप पहले देखोगे कि मैं एक 10 से 80 रेंज प्रोवाइड कर रहा हूं, मैं 80 से 160 रेंज प्रोवाइड कर रहा हूं, मैं देख रहा हूं कि अगर मेरा जो आउट मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल है उसे मैं डिक्रीज करके देख रहा हूं तो क्या मेरा आउटपुट डिजायर्ड मैं रीच कर पा रहा हूं कि नहीं, इंक्रीज करने पे रीच कर रहा हूं कि नहीं। देखो यहाँ पे तो था कि मैं डिक्रीज कर पा रहा हूं, यहाँ पे मैं चाहता हूं तो मैं डायरेक्टली में अप्लाई करता डिजाइन स्पेक तो मेरा काम बन जाता। बट अगर मान लो कि हमें कोई आइडिया ही ना हो कि वेदर आई शुड इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज, इन दैट वे आप क्या रेंज लोगे, रेंज आप कम में लोगे, ज्यादा में लोगे, या रेंज पूरा आप वाइड कर दोगे, तो until unless you don't have an idea of the range that what you should take, आपको सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस परफॉर्म करना पड़ेगा। सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस आपको एक आइडिया देता है कि आप इस रेंज में आपका आंसर जो है वो एक्सपेक्टेड है, और जब आपको पता चल जाता है कि अच्छा मेरा आंसर इस रेंज में एक्सपेक्टेड है, आप डिजाइन स्पेक अप्लाई करो, आप एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू को अचीव कर लो। तरीका ये होता है।
ओके सर,
समझ गए?
यस सर, यस।
चलो, एनी मोर डाउट?
नो सर।
चलो, सभी को सब कुछ क्लियर? भाई यस या नो कुछ तो बोल दो।
सर बस खुद से एक बार ट्राई
अभी
करना
तक
पड़ेगा,
तो सही है सर, एक
अभी
बार
तक
रन
तो कोई नहीं।
करेंगे फिर
अच्छा, एक चीज